Bud, Canelo, done deal. Looks like the fight is signed. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Man, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't.
Have you ever wondered what it takes for one of boxing's all-time greats to sharpen his instincts in the shadow of another legend? Or asked yourself which fighter truly holds the keys to pound-for-pound supremacy when two eras collide?
If Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose.
Roy Jones Jr. strode into the gym like a storm, a mix of skepticism and unshakable confidence in his eyes. Locked firmly on Terence "Bud" Crawford as he flowed through MIT work, slipped punches with ease, and unleashed blistering combinations that cracked through the air. This wasn't some casual workout, it was a lesson in evolution, power, and ring IQ unfolding in real time. As Jones laced up his gloves, you could feel it, the air thick with respect, the unspoken understanding that what he was witnessing was something special. In that sweat-drenched ring, all the usual debates about size, weight classes, and legacy were put under the spotlight. Roy didn't blink. He watched every movement, the footwork, the precise pivots, the seamless weight shifts that made Crawford look like he was floating while heavier men looked stuck in place. Every jab was a test, not just a strike, each one asking a question of an invisible opponent, and each one answered only when Crawford felt like it. Then came the straight, right, crisp, violent efficita bullet through the air that told Roy everything he needed to know. This wasn't hype, this was mastery. A fighter so deeply in tune with offense and defense that he could rewrite the script mid-round. Roy didn't mince words. If Crawford fought the right fight, he could put Canelo Alvarez to sleep, but it all depended on the style of battle Canelo chose. A war would play into Crawford's hands. Jones's verdict echoed loud across boxing circles. Canelo's size wouldn't be enough. Bud's timing, IQ, speed, and power were already elite, and in a chess match, even in a smaller ring, he'd dominate. Roy dismissed the idea of a brawl. Instead, he predicted a slow, surgical dismantling. Crawford baiting, slicing, and controlling every moment like a master technician in his element.
Right? It's a little tougher. So right now, I think it's gonna be either way.
As the boxing world buzzed over weight disparities, press conference theatrics, and debates about who could handle whose hardest punch, it was Roy Jones Jr.'s first-hand account that cut through the noise like a razor. He had seen it up close: Crawford, adapting in the middle of a brutal sparring session, adjusting on the fly to punches thrown with malicious intent and awkward angles designed to expose smaller fighters. But Bud didn't fold. He absorbed, countered, and pressed forward with the calm of a veteran and the ferocity of a champion. That, Roy declared, is the mark of a generational talent. The rare ability not just to face greatness, but to outfight it, and leave it grasping for answers. And when Roy spoke, the message wasn't lost. Promoters, analysts, and pay-per-view buyers all sat up, recalibrating their expectations.
Depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You really got a big class. How do you think?
Across dozens of rounds through pinpoint drills, head movement routines, and intense sparring, Terence Crawford peeled back the layers of his craft. He flashed explosive double left hooks, feints so sharp they broke his opponent's posture, and an engine that seemed to thrive under pressure, growing stronger with each blow absorbed. Roy Jones Jr. watched closely as Crawford gathered momentum like a freight train. Every punch powered by flawless mechanics and terrifying intent. It became clear to Roy why Canelo's composed Jabana counter approach might not be enough, because Bud wasn't just fighting to win rounds. He was fighting to control every second, every angle, every breath inside that ring.
I mean, the biggest thing get to the weight limit, because there is a weight limit, get to the weight limit.
Roy Jones Jr. didn't sugarcoat a thing. He laid it out with brutal clarity. If Canelo Alvarez tries to impose his size and bully Crawford, he'll run into a fighter with no fear and world-class precision. If Canelo opts to box at range, Bud will match him step for step, slipping shots and taking command of the ring's center. And if Alvarez swings wide, looking for a knockout, Crawford's slick head movement and airtight defense will deflect the danger, drain Canelo's gas tank, and then strike with ruthless efficiency. In Roy's eyes, Canelo simply won't be able to cope with that level of refinement. If this fight happens, it could mark the end of Alvarez's reign.
See what happened between Tio and Bud?
No. Yeah, this.
Boxing history is filled with giant slayers, fighters who defied the odds, moved up in weight, and shocked the world by dismantling larger opponents. Roy Jones Jr. did it himself. But few leaps have ever felt as precise, as calculated, as Terence Crawford's. With each move through the weight classes, Crawford hasn't just collected titles, he's crafted a legacy. chapter by chapter, with surgical intent and Roy's testimony. It reads like the prologue to what could become the defining moment of the decade, a seismic shift, written in sweat, skill, and undeniable greatness.
Thoughts on it, because the whole thing that came out of that, right, was that Tio said, hey, he apologized and he was leveraging racism as promotion.
When fight night arrives, the lights of Las Vegas will blaze like a supernova, illuminating a city on the edge of madness. The T-Mobile Arena will shake with the roar of fans, their chants pounding like war drums, fueling both warriors as they march toward destiny. Outside, the strip will glow, electric neon signs flickering, betting lines shifting by the second, and social media ablaze with predictions and hot takes. Vendors will line the walkways, slinging glowing gloves and exclusive posters that capture the gravity of the moment. As the fighters touch gloves and trunks brush the canvas, the world will hold its breath, bracing for a battle that could forever reshape boxing's legacy. The energy is pure chaos, but inside the gyms, the difference is surgical. Canelo's camp thunders with the sound of weighted vest sprints, bone-jarring body shots on the heavy bag, and the clank of iron meant to forge raw power. Just a few miles away, Crawford's ring hums with the rhythm of jump ropes, slicing the air, speed bags ticking like metronomes, and pad work so fast it seems to warp the air itself. While Alvarez's team drills for punishment, Crawford's crew sharpens timing, counters, and angles, building a reflexive arsenal for any scenario. These two contrasting camps, one built on brute force, the other on calculated precision, reveal just how deep this chess match goes.
Waterboard, what that means?
Yep. Speaking of Bud, what are your thoughts on?
Sparring reports tell a story as vivid as any highlight reel. One seasoned heavyweight described Canelo's power as piston-like, each punch crashing in with the force of a hydraulic press, designed to tear through anything in its path. Meanwhile, lightweight sparring partners likened Crawford's precision to surgical steel, razor-sharp left hooks threading effortlessly through the smallest gaps in a guard. Neither fighter gave an inch. Canelo absorbed the blows, reset, and fired again. Crawford slipped, countered, and kept the rhythm flowing. That mutual resilience doesn't just set the stage, it warns of the storm to come. Those opening exchanges won't be for show. They'll be loaded with purpose, violence, and the raw intent to dominate.
Watching Roy Jones, man, when I was a kid, when he was in his prime, he would lead with a left hook. It was like more than a jab.
Press tours have evolved into high-stakes psychological chess matches. Canelo Alvarez meets every question about weight with a smug grin, reminding everyone he's no stranger to toppling bigger men. In contrast, Terence Crawford responds with composed confidence, calmly weaving in statements about adaptability and unmatched speed. Every quote, every stare, is a calculated move designed to sow doubt or reinforce belief. This media frenzy isn't just hype. It's a mental war where each word lands like a jab, and often the fighter who controls the narrative walks into the ring already halfway to victory.
Whip that left hook at dudes, and they didn't know what the fuck to do with that. That speed was preposterous.
Money is moving in staggering amounts, turning this clash into more than just a fight. It's a financial phenomenon. Saudi investors have poured millions into fighter purses, side bets, and lavish bonuses, transforming the event into a global spectacle. Both Canelo and Crawford will walk away with paydays that most athletes can only fantasize about, but every dollar invested raises the stakes. Promoters have locked in sky-high pay-per-view targets, built on the promise of fireworks. Caution, with legacy and fortune on the line, the pressure is immense, and the stage is set for a showdown that can't afford to disappoint.
I got super hype when I came out, and when you came out, you hyped me up a little bit more. Hype up your shit.
The debate over ring size has become a battle of inches with massive implications. A tighter canvas favors the pressure fighter, someone who thrives on closing distance, cutting off escape routes, and cornering opponents with brute force. On the other hand, a full-sized ring gives the edge to slick movers, fighters who rely on footwork, angles, and evasive brilliance to control the tempo. While both camps have publicly accepted the official regulations, behind closed doors, quiet murmurs swirl about rope tension and the subtle slope of the corners. In a fight this close, even the smallest detail, a slip, a bounce, a slightly off-balance pivot could flip momentum and turn a missed shot into a legacy-defining moment.
Because you understand my musical diversity. You understand me? You thought you was going way somewhere to the north, you still living by you.
Don't overlook the undercard. It's where the hunger is rawest. Rising stars, eager to carve out their own legacies, will step into the ring fueled by the energy of the main event. Every round is a spotlight, every exchange a statement. These early bouts set the tone, warming up the crowd with flashes of grit, skill, and ambition. When their gloves drop, the arena will already be electric, a roaring tribute to boxing's future powering its present. Their names may not top the posters, but their performances weave the fabric of the night into a seamless, unforgettable narrative. As for the big picture, ticket sales and viewership numbers have already shattered records. This is global. From the boxing-crazed streets of Mexico City to the fight night bars of Omaha, the world will be watching. Social media will light up with real-time clips and reactions, timelines buzzing like fireworks. Even the casual fan, drawn in by the sheer scale of the event, will be locked in by round 3. This isn't just a fight, it's a cultural landmark, a night that will echo across generations and redefine what it means to witness greatness.
The beautiful thing about Bud Crawford's career, he was so dominant, and up until this point, you could kind of explain